question is how to select your cards when you sit down for a reading. And before I show you what I do and how my practice has changed over the years, let me just say there's no right or wrong way. You're going to hear people say that there's a right and a wrong way, and you're going to ruin your reading if you don't do it their way or the exact right way. I really want to stop that belief because there's no right or wrong way. What you want to do is develop a system, a routine, a ritual that works for you and feels right. That is where you're going to get a true reading from, an honest reading, an authentic reading, if you're doing something that feels good to you. When I sit down to do a reading, I take out my cards and the first thing I do is start shuffling them. And I shuffle them to wake up the deck and to start connecting with the deck. I'd stop shuffling when they feel awake and ready and when they feel connected to me. And I shuffle in multiple ways. I shuffle however fits that particular deck the best. So cardstock makes a big difference here. This is a fairly bendy, thin cardstock. So I like to riffle shuffle this one, but I have some other decks that are chonkers and I can't riffle shuffle them. I think it would damage the cards. So those ones I overhand like this, just taking little sections. I'll go slower. Little sections, sort of peeling them off, right? And I'll show you the riffle 1 second. Okay, the riffle is going to look like this. And on my bigger decks that aren't so bendy, I also do a little sort of pseudo riffle on the side, like that. So I do all three of those shuffles, whatever seems right. Once I have my deck ready to go, then I hold my deck in my hands. I take a breath, connecting with the deck, and I ask my question. And then when I feel that I'm done, you can tell there's a lot of intuitive going off vibes here. We're going off feelings. When I feel connected, I fan the deck out in front of me. Let me adjust here. Okay, fan the deck out. And then I use my left hand because that for me just feels like my receiving hand, like I'm going to get a message from the cards. And I just pass my hand over until it feels like I need to stop. And that's my card. I pull that card out and I put it, if I'm doing a multiple card reading, I put it face down. I don't want to look at it yet. And then I go through until I find another one, pull that one out. And then when I don't have any more, when it doesn't feel like the deck wants me to pull anymore, I stop. And I usually just, put the cards back together and set them to the side so I've got more room to do the actual reading. Okay, and then if I'm using a spread, then I would pull them, turn them over one at a time, answer the question for that spread. If I was just doing sort of a general reading, 3 cards to see what they have to say, I would probably pull them all at once and look at them all together and let them tell a story together and, affect the meanings with each other. Then when I'm all done, the reading's done, I thank my deck, I give it a kiss, and then I shuffle while I'm telling the deck, while I'm shuffling, I'm saying you're releasing that reading. You're done with that reading. You're releasing your connection to me. You're releasing your connection to the person I was reading for. You're done. And then I like to end that shuffle. When it feels done, I end it with a cut. If I don't get a clean cut, then I do it again. And I put it back in its box. And I believe then the energy of that reading has been cleared from the deck. And we're ready to go for the next one. Now, there's so many things you can do. So maybe that doesn't feel right to you. It takes a long time. Maybe that's not the way you want to read. So you could just shuffle the way you want. A lot of people like doing overhand shuffling, and then they read the jumpers. So the cards that fly out. I don't read jumpers because in my ritual, my routine, if a card flies out, it's because I was a sloppy shuffler, not because it means anything to me. That's not within my belief system, but it might be within yours. So do it. So if you're reading and, shuffling and a card flies out, maybe you shuffle until you get a jumper. And that's how you know what card you use. Maybe you shuffle and then you cut the deck. You're doing a 3-card reading. Maybe you make 3 piles and you take the top card from each. That might be a way to do it. Maybe you shuffle and then you cut the deck and you draw from the top. You draw your 3 cards right from the top. There is no right or wrong way to shuffle and choose your cards. Don't let anybody tell you there is. I mean, maybe except for if you turned them over and picked through so you got the message you wanted. Don't do that. I would just say do as many readings as you can for yourself. Try different things and do what feels the best.